The Sorcerer Warlock, also known as the Sorlock. This is a very good charisma-based build for Baldur's Gate 3. So as always, we are going to do a level-by-level guide as well as a combat tutorial to get into this. Now, to begin this build, we're going to start with Sorcerer. The one reason being Constitution saving throw proficiency. We're going to be focusing on using concentration spells, and for that, Constitution is what you need. So it makes sense here. Now, for your cantrips, you can really take anything. I would personally take Firebolt, because I think Firebolt is awesome. I would take Ray of Frost. I would take Acid Splash. And I would take Poison Spray. Reason being is, as we will discover later on. And for your spells, I always swear by Thunderwave and Shield. I think these two are the perfect first level spells. Thunderwave is amazing for pushing people off ledges, as I preach about. And Shield is really good as a reaction to stop you from taking damage. And for this build to work, we are going to go Draconic Bloodline. This also gives us Tasha's Hideous Laughter. We also get hit point increase for 1 sorcerer level. So for our Draconic Ancestry, we're going to focus on something that covers Hunger of Hadar. This, in my opinion, is one of the best spells for a Warlock. And that's what we're going to be focusing on. Now, Hunger of Hadar does cold or acid damage. So that is what we want to be. We either want to do Draconic Ancestry White or Copper. And then you can also play this in and around your spells that you take at level 1, your cantrips, whatnot. Hence why we took Cold and Acid. So we're going to take Cold, just because why not? Anything you fancy? Now for your points, we really want to focus on Charisma, Constitution. Those are our big two. Dex probably being the next best because of our health pool. Also, not our health pool, our AC. So I would probably do something like this. 17 Charisma, 15 Constitution, 14 Dex. Proficiencies, take whichever you like. At level 2, we are going to finally dip into Warlock. This gives us Eldritch Blast, which is a must-have. And in my opinion, Blade Ward is very helpful if you just want to negate some damage. And for me, I think Archfly is the way to go, just for Fairy Fire. Sleep is also very nice. And Fey Presence isn't too bad. But I would probably swap out Fairy Fire, swap out Sleep for Hex. Another good one is Arms of Hadar, or Armor of Agathis. However, we already do have that. These options are really good. For level 2, we are sticking with Warlock again. We're going to take this to level 2. This gives us 2 passives. I would at this point take the Arms of Hadar, and I would have Agonizing Blast, and Repelling Blast. At level 4, we're sticking with Warlock level 3. We have improved Warlock spells, so they have now become stronger. We gain another passive. For your spells here, I think Misty Step is an amazing option, and it's the only one I would ever argue about having. Since we are a pure spellcaster build, if you wanted to do a blade weapon, you could do Pact to the Blade. However, I would do Pact to the Chain, and this allows you to have a Face Spirit with you as well. At level 5, we're sticking with Warlock again for level 4. We now get a feat as well as more cantrips and spells, and I would take Mage Hand just because it can be very, very helpful. And I think Cloud of Daggers is the way to go here, another concentration spell, but I think Cloud of Daggers is phenomenal. Now when it comes to your feat, you have a couple of options. You could take a feat itself, so you could take something like Durable, or you could take Elemental Adapt. ASI is probably the way to go though, depending on what your stats are. If you have items that will boost your stats, you might want to negate it. It's really up to you. But in this case, I would stick with 1 in Charisma, 1 in Constitution. Okay, at level 5 we have a Deepened Pact, so now our Pact to the Chain Familiar gains an extra attack. We have another passive and a new spell. And this is the key part of this, Hunger of Hadar. It does cold and acid damage, which is amazing. And this is really what I built this whole build around, because I think this is one of the best spells you can get in the game. And in my opinion, Armor of Shadows, you can cast Major Armor yourself at will, without expending a spell slot, just because we are going to be more focused on the sorcerer aspect now. This allows you to boost your AC for free at no cost. And now the rest of the build, we take it all the way to sorcerer till the end. So we have another spell we can now take, and again we want to focus on the cold damage, so Ice Knife. It is at this point we can do our sorcery points, so I would take Twin Spell and Careful Spell, especially for something with Hunger of Hadar. Careful Spell can really save you here. Again, sticking with Sorcerer, we are now level 3. We have access to more spells. And now I would take Blur, just because I think Blur is phenomenal. If you wanted to go a bit outside the box, Knock is also really good. especially if you don't want to go down the route of having a rogue or something. Using knock to be able to just open a chest or a door is a good option. However, with the amount of locked stuff in the game, you might be better off having someone that is good with sleight of hand. And of course, quicken spell. Spells that cost an action cost a bonus action instead. Sorcerer level 4, we now have another feat, and we get to pick one of these. I would take Bone Chill. Prevent target from healing to your next turn, which is amazing. And undead targets receive disadvantage on attack rolls. And for this spell, I would take Mirror Image. Create 3 illusionary duplicates of yourself that distract attackers. Each duplicate increases your armor class by 3. So with Quicken spell, you could cast this as your bonus action, and then you can still hit all your Eldritch Blasts. And again, your feat or ASI is really going to depend. I would now do the ability improvement. However, your Elemental Adapt, your Durable, your Mage Slayer even could be really good. Cycle along those lines of really what you feel like. Spell Sniper can be really good as well, because we will be using a lot of Eldritch Blasts. So the amount we need to hit a critical is now reduced to 19, not 20. Can be a good option as well. But I think the ASI is the most valuable thing here. Okay, we're level 10 overall, and we're level 5 Sorcerer. So we are now in here, and Counterspell. Counterspell, in my opinion, is one of the top 10 spells in the game. I put it on my top 10 list of spells in this game. We have to take it. Okay, we're now Sorcerer level 6. Damage Affinity. When you cast a spell, it deals damage of the type associated with your Draconic ancestry. You add your Charisma modifier to the damage. This is amazing for the Hunger of Hadar. And we are also now resistance to it if we spend a sorcery point. And for your spell at this level, Stinking Cloud. Create a cloud of gas so nauseating it prevents creatures from taking actions. And our final level, we are Sorcerer level 7 now. And Ice Storm. Impale a storm of hail and ice to crash from the sky, covering the ground and striking all objects and creatures within it. Again, it's an amazing spell. We're going to take this. Okay, that is our build, level 1 to 12. Let's go find some combat and put this into action. Okay, so we found some combat. So, let's have a little look here. Now, we have a few options as I was saying. We will start though with Armor of Agathis. So this will boost our health. But, if we're going to do this, we have to be careful about it. So Quickened Spell. This now lets us cast any spell we have as a bonus action. So we can hit Armor of Agathis on ourselves. And as you can see, it goes up higher the more we go. So let's just do that at 3rd level. Just like that. And now what we can also do to really deck ourselves out is hit Mirror Image. And now we are more decked out than we were before. And suddenly we now have an AC of 22 as a Sorcerer Warlock. And again, as you can see, Counterspell, the guy is trying to turn invisible, so we have managed to stop that. And you can see how helpful both Armor of Agathis and the Duplicity thing was, because he took 15 damage from hitting us. Okay, so as a Sorcerer, obviously this is not the position we want to be stuck in. Hence, Misty Step as a bonus action. We can cast that and get out of dodge. Therefore not inflicting any attacks of opportunity against us. This is where the build comes into play, as I was saying. Hunger of Hadar. We're going to cast it at 4th level. So we're going to put it on top of our people here. Now obviously our 3 companions will be stuck in here. You will want to time this better, but as a demonstration, this is just what I'm showing. Now as you can see, we have Elemental Affinity. So we become resistant to cold. And the enemies here are going to be getting extra cold damage per round because of the Hunger of Hadar and because of our Draconic ancestry. Ready. Another counterspell there. And there you go, the enemy's just sitting there taking little chunks of damage. Again, 10 damage then from doing that. And a big old miss. And even taking that much damage, we still kept the spell up. Now because of the utilities we have, as you can see, we have a threat here. So we can do a Thunder Wave. Do it at 3rd level. Now unfortunately he did save, which isn't ideal. However, we can then come into here with our Quicken spell. And we now have another option to do psych. So if we really wanted to, we could try again. And that time it works, and he got flung off. So we've got loads of options to stop us from taking damage itself. Now with the Hunger of Hadar, what we should have done was come into here and used our Careful spell. Allies automatically see saving throws against spells that require them. That's what we should have done. Unfortunately, I forgot. So, great job, Reese. But that is just another option. And again, we're super defensive as a Sorcerer Warlock that we just put a shield up. So that is not only the Armor of Agathis, we also had our duplicates around us, and we still have shield. Okay, again, we have other options we can use in these fights. Eldritch Blast. Now, we're going to hit this dude here. We get 3 of them. And because of Repelling Blast and everything like that, they have just been killed. And that still leaves us, if we wanted to, and we had enough sorcery points, we could come in here and we could do another spell as a bonus action. But we have got the ability to create sorcery points, being a sorcerer, and now we can do another spell of our choice at some point on the next round. Or we can come in here and we can do it now. So we could do a Careful spell, and then we could once again take one of these if we wish to. Again, another shield, just more defense. Now our Careful spell is still working, so we could come in here and we could do a Poison Spray, for example.
Here we go again.
Like that. And then we still have the ability to create more sorcery points. And because of our Draconic Ancestry of our cold damage, Ray of Frost, 20 damage. So as you can see, that is a very strong... We're using very, very basic equipment. We currently have padded armor and a tiny little dagger. But the whole point of this build is to be tanky, is to not drop your concentration, is to just be able to deal loads of damage, and just be able to deflect any attack, whether it be with all the spells we have. Like, we have Shield, which is perfect. Counter Spell, which helps us be like a shield to other people. We have the spells, like the Armor of Agathis, so not only does that boost our hit points, but any creatures also take damage if they hit us. Shield as a reaction is amazing. And Mirror Image. These spells combined can really make you a tanky, damage-dealing, just Sorlock of immense power, especially if you just focus on your Charisma and your Constitution. You can deal a huge amount of damage with just the ability to just stand there and be able to absorb these hits. And we did that fight without a mainline front person. There was no fighter, there was no barbarian, so to speak. So, yeah, it just shows that you could really, if you had this in the back, just casting these spells, keeping people like stuck within the Hunger of Hadar, raining down some Eldritch Blasts or some Ray of Frost or some Ice Storms, while you have your barbarian wrecking havoc or a fighter, then yeah, you really do have a very versatile Sorlock in your party. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please let me know in the comments below. If there's anything you would change, please let me know as well. If you're not subscribed, but you'd like to, that'd also be amazing, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.